that was loud. It was loud as hell. What up? What up, though? What it do? But, no. Just wanted to say something. When I was with my husband, he used to say things to me, directly and indirectly. He used to say shit like, you're not human, or you're insignificant, you are not significant. Or he would say stuff to me that would completely tear me down, mentally and emotionally. So from that, my question is, anybody who's damn watching, do you consider yourself human? Do you consider yourself as a human being? There was some truth in what he said, although he meant to hurt me. He meant to tear me down. He meant to cause me pain and suffering, not knowing who I am. See, you abuse these people out here, and some of them die out, some of them die early. Some of them just deteriorate and get sick and are stuck in hospitals. But me? Nah, I didn't give in. I kept going. But what he said does have some truth. Do you consider yourself human? Yourself. You see other people. Other human beings. But when you look in the mirror and when you walking about going to and fro throughout your day, do you consider yourself as human? I'm not an alien. I'm not a dog. I'm not a frog. I'm not a cat. I'm not a lice. I'm not a mouse. I'm not an ant. I am a living, breathing, feeling, thinking human being. How you see yourself also determines how your life is going to turn out. How could you not consider yourself as a human being? How could you not consider yourself as a being, period, a person? How can you not be able to keep yourself company? How could you not feed yourself the food that you like? Listen, I ate one time today. I told you I'm a finicky eater. My appetite is weird. It's weird. One day I'm going to eat. Next day I'm not. The next day I'm eating a bunch of sweets. Then the next day I'm eating healthy. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But the smallest example that I could give, and I think it's the best, comprehensive. You give your family food, right? And I've experienced this. You're a housewife, or you're a wife, a working mother, you work, and you come home, you take care of your kids, you cook and you clean and do all that other stuff. That's your second job. Do you make sure that you have enough on your plate? Do you fix your plate first and then fix theirs and then give them their food and then give yourself your food? Or do you fix their food first and then fix your plate last, to the point to where there's only scraps left for you? I used to do that to myself all the time. I used to fix food. I used to cook for my kids, my husband. And I would fix everybody's plate first, serve my kids first, then my husband. And then by the time I got to myself, wasn't nothing but scraps left. So I would be the one left out and wouldn't have nothing to eat, because I done gave everybody well proportioned portions of food. But my plate would be scrappy. And I never realized what it was I was doing to myself. I was placing myself last. Every time. Last. I put everybody ahead of me. I never did consider myself as a human, as a person. What he said had some truth in it. It was hurtful, yes. It tore me down and it tore me the fuck up. But what he said had some truth in it. Do you consider yourself as a human being? Do you take yourself out on dates? Do you take yourself shopping for yourself? Some people go and shop because they're addicted, because it's pure addiction. Not because they get joy out of it, not because they want to feel good and find themselves something nice, because they're addicted to shopping. They stay in the stores from time they wake up until the time they go to fucking bed because they're addicted to shopping. Not thinking, oh, I want to get myself something nice. They just take shit and hoard it. Do you take yourself and soak in a bathtub with your favorite scented candles, your favorite bath bombs? Do you get your favorite lotion and just give yourself a body rub? Do you rub your own hands? Do you rub the cricks and knots out of your own hands, your arms, your shoulder? Do you do that for you? Do you give yourself pampering? Do you manicure and pedicure your own motherfucking feet? Do you give your own self foot rubs? Do you give yourself leg rubs? Do you give yourself temple massages? Do you tell yourself everything is going to be okay? I love myself. I am fine. I am okay. Just because things are going bad outside of me doesn't mean that I have to react to it. I should respond in a better way. I should respond in this way. I am human and I love me. Him not knowing who I am, he done, oh boy. That's the one thing I'm thankful for. Him tearing me down just so I can be who I am today. He told me that I was insignificant. And I'm his wife. The one who took care of him. The one who got up at 4 o'clock in the morning with 3 kids and took him to work. Fixed his lunches every day with little notes in them telling him how much I loved him. Just for him to beat me, mentally and emotionally abuse me, and forget everything that I did for him. I put him and my kids first above myself. Never, not one time did I ever do anything for me. Not once. He had some truth in that. There was some truth in what he said. But I am not insignificant and nobody else is insignificant. You are significant in your own life. By divine right, in your own way. You should tread upon the face of this earth, confident, knowing that you are valid. By divine right, you get to choose who you are once you come of age and are 100% responsible for you. Growing up, I didn't have anybody to love me. I didn't have anybody to comfort me. I was one of them kids that was left out. I literally grew up by myself. My grandmother was too sick to take care of me. Taking me downtown to the projects to my great-grandmother's house just to sit in the house or wander around the projects by myself. Them not realizing that I used to see my mother with pimps or Johns. Not knowing that the neighborhood kids in the projects was mocking me and making fun of me because my mama was a crackhead whore. I'm the one who grew up without a mother, but yet they treated me like I wasn't shit, like it was all my fault. How? How could that have been my fault? It's not my fault that my mother spread her legs to a married man with 5 children. I'm number 8 of 13 of his kids. Grew up without a mother and a father. Do you consider yourself human? Do you consider yourself worthy? When you look in that damn mirror, who do you see? What do you see? How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel? You better start speaking life into yourself. You better say, I am the baddest motherfucker walking. And you better walk in that every day until you believe it. Until nobody can tell you otherwise. Life is too short. I have escaped death several times at this man's hands. Several. Me and my children. And I'll be damned. What do you do for yourself? How could you not consider yourself as human? You have lungs. You got nostrils. You got boogers. You got earwax, eye snot, teeth and gums. Some people might not have teeth. Okay? Some people might be able to hear. They might be deaf or visually impaired, but they're still human. Nonetheless. Still human and very much alive. Y'all sitting here getting these phones and these laptops and these houses that think for you. That think for you. Not realizing you have a computer right here in your head called a brain. With nerve endings that goes all the way down your spinal cord and all the way through to your fingertips and toes. Take the flesh off. Take the brain and the spine out, and you're going to have nothing but nerves. Nothing but nerve endings. That's you. The skeletal is nothing more than a protector of the organs. Muscles help keep the body up. Bone gives the body structure, just like a house. She's a brick house. That's what y'all. My grandmother used to say to me when I was younger, life will go by so fast it'll make your head spin. I never knew what she meant. I was a little girl then. On them days that she was up and out and about and walking around and painting and doing all these things, she would say to me, life go by so fast it'll make your head spin, and I'd be damned if she was right. She was right. Went by quick. Seems like it's slow. It seems like it's slow. From moment to moment, it seems like it's slow. But sit down and really focus. Really think where you are now, where you were, and where you're going. Where you're going hasn't been written yet. You have to write it. You have to write it. Ain't nobody gonna make that shit up for you. You create that shit as you go along, from moment to moment, from second to second. Daily. Your life matters to me. It might not matter to nobody else, or else I wouldn't be doing this shit. But People need to know. This shit needs to be known. A lot of people is missing it. It's just passing them by, like just passing them by. They just still going through it, and then there's chaos around them, and there's things just surrounding them, and they're just going in a trance every day, in a trance. The trance, being trapped in the mind, the prison of the mind. Free yourself. One thing that I am terrified of, and always have been, is death. I talk to Lucifer about that every day. I'm going to die, Lucifer. I'm going to die. Everybody else is going to die too, but I'm going to die. Every funeral I have been to freaks me the fuck out. It literally freaks me out. The last funeral I went to was my mother's funeral, my grandmother's funeral. The last funeral I went to was my grandmother's funeral. But before hers, I went to my mother's. That was the sickest day, and I still have not gotten over my mother's death. I'm never going to get over that. I'm just not. I never had her. Freaks me out. And my mother was beautiful. That's the one thing that I fear is death. I'm working on it. Don't let your realization of self be too late. My grandmother told me years before she passed away. It was back in 2008, 2009. She was in so much pain. And she told me, she said, I wish I could have done everything I said I was going to do without fear. I wish I could have been what I said I was going to be. My grandmother told me this. I would call her every week or every 2 weeks, and she would just be crying. She'd be in pain. She'd be sad, lonely, telling me how people would be treating her. See, I've been a counselor my whole life. People always talk to me. Aunties be talking to me, cousins, friends, people I don't even damn know be talking to me. Naturally just gravitate towards me, and we just start talking. And I listen. Because I know what it's like to have somebody ignore you. I don't tell them what to do. I can't. It's your life. You're going to realize what you need to do just by talking about it to somebody who's going to listen to you. Or type it out and reread it, and then you're going to find what you need right there. Your answers is right there in you. You're not going to find them answers outside of you. You're not. You find help outside of you, but what do you need help with? I've asked my auntie before. One of my aunties come to me asking me for help, and I was like, what do you need help with? And she couldn't tell me a damn thing. She couldn't tell me what she needed help with. And here this woman is 50-something, 40-something years old, and I'm like 20, late 20s, early 20s. She couldn't even tell me what she needed help with. Get your life. Go for what you want. Dig deep. Figure that shit out. Remove all of that nastiness that people have instilled in you because it did not originate from you to begin with. That is not your baggage to carry anymore. Let that shit go. Because it ain't doing nothing but killing you. You're in and out of the fucking hospitals. High blood pressure, heart problems, dementia early onset Alzheimer's. Sickness and disease begins in the mind. By your thoughts. Your thoughts radiate into emotions, energy set in motion. Emotions turn into vibrational frequencies that you cannot see. You can't see it. But those spirits on the other side, demons or whoever's on the other side, lower angelics, higher angelics, they can all see. And you radiate so loudly without speaking. You vibrate loudly without speaking. They come in and they smell it. And they're attracted to it like a moth to a motherfucking flame. And then here you go, got something latched onto you, a parasitic energy glommer from a different world, sucking you dry. Sucking the health and the vitality out of you. Because you done invited them in by your frequency. Your energy stinks. And you attracting stink energy. Not just from the spiritual realm, but the physical. Not from just the metaphysical, but the physical. It shows up in people, situations, and circumstances. And if you're by yourself, you're having all kinds of weird ass shit going on in your household, in your mind, paranoia. I'm only willing to save those who are willing to save themselves. I don't know why I felt moved to say that, but I'm pretty sure it was for a reason. Do you consider yourself human? Do you feed yourself good food? Not just for the sake of going out and eating something. Oh, I want to go out to eat. I want to go out to eat because I deserve to go out to eat. I want to go out to eat because I want to eat some steak because I deserve this steak. This steak is good. I bought this steak. I worked hard for this steak. I got my money up. I got my mind right. I deserve this steak. I deserve this steak and these eggs and this pancakes or whatever the fuck you going to be eating. I'm getting ready to go out and have fun because I deserve it. I deserve to be the life of the party. I deserve to have this and this and that. I'm getting ready to go buy me a new car because I deserve better. Because I am human. Because I love me and I'm going to give myself better. You got to start thinking like that. Lift yourself up. Because ain't nobody going to do that shit for you. Come on now. Stop letting people use you. You ain't nobody's damn doormat. I tell my client that shit all the time. You ain't the doormat. You are not the doormat. You better start standing up for yourself and demanding respect. But do you respect yourself first? Some people ain't ready for me. Y'all not ready for me? If you ain't cussing me out, then I ain't doing my job. I tell my clients this shit all the time. See, I ain't gonna find nothing about Miss Lynn because Miss Lynn been working in the background. I've been coming up in the background. Behind the scenes. Then I come out. And when it's my time, I'm going to watch me some TV because I deserve to have some peace and quiet. I'm going to find me something funny on TV to watch because I deserve to laugh, and I like to laugh, and I like to have fun. I don't like to be miserable and sad and sucky all the damn time and leaving nasty comments on people's posts on various social media channels that I don't know. I don't want to read none of that stuff. I don't want to see none of that stuff. I'm not going to allow myself to see or hear or taste or touch or smell anything. That's how you got to start with you. Everybody hollering about you got to make the world a better place. Well, start making your world a better place, and then the world will be a better place because you're the part of the world. You society. I'm society. People are society. Yep. Demons help you. Demons teach you. Demons help shape and mold your mind to be better and higher if you let them. And I've let them. I've allowed them to. You have to follow and be a good listener, disciplined, coachable, teachable, reachable, not arrogant. You have to allow them to get to you whatever best way they convey or can, or you are going to allow them to convey the message to you to where you can understand absolutely. Absolutely. In the simplest way possible, where they can teach you in the best way for you. Who are you living for? You living for yourself? You living for yourself? Or are you living for someone else? Engaging in gossip takes away your creative magnetic energy. Engaging in hearing gossip goes into the ear and into the brain, and then it goes down to those little receptors down there called your subconscious, and then there you go, it projects right back out to you. Mind mastery, mind power, subconscious. 333, Hail Quran's on. After you consider yourself human, and this is not going to be no overnight thing, because how old are you? How long have you been living this way? How long have you been thinking this way? How much of your subconscious mind is up? Discipline. Not going to be no overnight. What's that saying? Rome wasn't built in a day. You wasn't built in a day. You didn't come out your mama's cooter. Come out some, I'm a CEO, look at my rollie. No, you wasn't none of that. You was a little crying baby, hollering about some, snotting, spitting, and drooling and everything. That's it. No teeth in your mouth. Couldn't even wipe your own ass. Holding your head up, looking around. What is this? What is this? Seeing nothing but blur, because babies can't see fully when they born anyway. Couldn't see nothing. When you begin to see yourself as worthy, when you begin to see yourself as a human being, is when you start laying the foundation. When you start laying the groundwork, when you start digging out all that other shit, when you start digging that hole of bullshit, when you start getting all of that gunk out of your subconscious mind, when you start getting all of that stuff out, that's when transformation, transmutation, and alchemy begins. But you got to be disciplined enough to reconstruct yourself. You're like a building being built from the bottom up and from the outside structure in. You are a human being. Thanks for watching. Hail Lucifer, hail Legion, hail Quran's on. I love you. And I love my audience. Bye-bye.